Your music and entertainment Twitch, and today we have a very special guest joining us. This is James Landino. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm James. I am a video game and anime music composer and DJ. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. I'm turning 30 next month, and I've been doing this my whole life. So it's been a crazy ride, and I'm really enjoying what I do, and looking forward to do more. And appreciate you guys, getting me out here to do this with you.
Yeah, of course. It's our pleasure.
That's awful.
What happened?
The Zoom meeting ends in 10 minutes.
Right,
let's go.
What we'll do is we'll
crushing
hop back
it.
in.
Yeah,
in
we'll
10 minutes.
we'll reset
Right.
the Zoom.
That's
thing,
fine.
But
Fuck yeah.
That's what we get for idling in here for too long.
Totally
Way
is.
to really start it off.
oh, it's a banger.
Well,
banger stream.
I just want to. Okay, before we get cut off, I was just very curious. So,
Yeah.
I've actually without knowing it, I've listened to your music for a really long time.
Okay.
And you've collaborated with some very big artists. I mean, of course, you're a big artist in it yourself. But stuff like Smooth McGroove, even like Game Chops, DJ Cutman. Was there any? So working in the industry, who is someone that you were very maybe starstruck or very impressed with working with? I just always find that is it weird to meet your idols or meet people that you're inspired by like that?
It's a good question. I hope this isn't too much of a cop-out answer. I'm not the one to get starstruck with people, not because I don't respect them or admire their work, quite the opposite.
I'm just that good,
Yeah,
I don't need these
bro.
nosy
Yeah.
people.
No, I think ultimately, the one time I think I've been starstruck was when I was at a party somewhere, and Zed came up to me, and he was like, I didn't know the guy at all. He just came up to me, and I was wearing a Zelda necklace. It was like, oh, dude, sick Triforce necklace. We talked about Zelda for 5 minutes at a party.
Nice.
To
That's
me,
sick.
that was like a whoa, it's you moment that really kind of I had to recalibrate for a second, holy shit, I'm talking to Zed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how direct are these? When you're collabing with someone, are you sending things back and forth, or are you working directly with them? I guess it's situation.
Most of the time
by
I'm working directly with the artists. Though, I feel like compared to other musicians, I don't do a lot of collaborations. I'll do remixes of other people's music, but I think just because of the nature of my work, or rather the way how I work, it's usually much easier for me to just, even then in collaborative work, it's usually okay, you do your part, and then I'm gonna fish it up, or vice versa. That's typically how I like to work with people, because when I work kind of in tandem with someone simultaneously, I find that I don't make as good music typically with the person.
Yeah. Is the nature of composing music like you do, is it very solo? Is it mostly by yourself, or is it, I don't know, is there a team behind you?
I mean, in the trenches, it's just me. It's really just me. Sure, I'll hire a player to do a thing here and there. I'll get a mixing engineer for a rare project. But no, it's just me. It's just me in my fucking room. Yeah.
just me doing some notes and hoping they come out good.
Am I allowed to swear, by the way, or am I gonna get
You're fine.
No,
double-
dude, this is totally chill. It's unprofessional.
Oh, fuck
Do
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
But that's really impressive, because I feel like with a team you have it's almost harder. Is it hard to stay motivated just because it's by yourself? Or I know a lot of my solo artists friends, they'll be it's great. I don't have to rely on anybody. I don't have anybody slowing down the creative process, but also it's harder because I don't have anybody pushing me, I guess.
If you asked me 10 years ago, I might give you a different answer. But by and large, as far as I can feel about myself, no, I actually fucking love being working on my own. Because most times when I'm working with someone, as I said earlier, collaboratively, I'm usually more stressed out because I'm kind of I'm working on it, but I'm kind of a creative control freak. I'm kind of a perfectionist. And so when that energy creeps into a session with someone else working with me in tandem, they're not always used to that kind of energy, or they don't vibe with that energy very well. So, I've been able to make it work over the years to be more mindful about that. But truthfully, me being solo, if anything, kind of motivates me more. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna get this done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And nobody else, just me.
Just me.
I
Yeah,
love
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Still kind of technically before we're gonna have to reset. I think once we reset, we'll get the official full force going. But I mean, before everything shuts down, would you want to talk a little bit about the new game that you've been working on? I saw you've been posting Omega Striker stuff.
Yes. So Omega Strikers, I've been working on since like June, July, more or less. And so they got me on board to originally write like the theme song for the game. And now what's happening is that we started rolling out. For those of you listening who may not be familiar, Omega Strikers is like a esports like MOBA. Think like esports air hockey kind of game.
Okay.
It sounds whatever, but it's actually super fun. A lot of developers from Riot Games who made League of Legends and TFT who like designed like the game worked now for this company making this game Omega Strikers. So the team is incredibly talented, super like brilliant like game designers, and it's really cool to have me on board to write music with them. And so now what we're doing is for all the new champions coming out over the next subsequent months or whatever their pipeline is, they're gonna having me and other artists as well writing music for those characters like themes.
Oh, that's very interesting. Do you get like when writing for a character? So how familiar are you with those characters? Are you getting a design doc or something, or how do you know how to cater that song to them?
So I'll work with, in this case, I'll work with the creative director or otherwise some of the other creative leads, if like the art lead who designed the character or whomever. But usually a group of people will kind of give me like some kind of guidance, ideally a doc. Sometimes it's just like Discord, like, oh, we're thinking this. Based on these songs, we think maybe on this YouTube, whatever. Like, so in an ideal world, they give me a lot of information. Sometimes, especially when deadlines are looming, there is less scattered information, and it's kind of up to me to kind of fill in the blanks and figure out what they want actually, which is kind of fun. It just sometimes it can be a little stressful when you have less information. In the creative field, but it's also more fun when they get because they trust me too. So they give me a long leash to kind of just, we trust you, go off, have fun, kind of deal.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I'm just thinking like, I mean, this is an extreme example, but like, it must be difficult to, I have to figure out what this character is all about, and then also like project that through music. I feel like that can be a real challenge.
Yeah, for me, this might sound a little bit cringy, but just fuck it.
You're good, man.
Like the way I've always have written music growing up, especially game music particularly, I always kind of like channel like the characters. Like sometimes, like, for example, if I'm writing like Sonic the Hedgehog music, I'm gonna like kind of like an actor moment, like method acting, like, okay, I'm Sonic now. Like, what does Sonic want? And that's kind of the headspace I get into.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you're just eating chili dogs and running down the highway.
One.
Fucking circled.
Very good. I really want to ask, and we only got 2 more minutes. But I know Sage, the Sonic Amateur Games Expo, just came out. Did you do any work with that, or is that something like you are? I know that's big, and I know you've worked on a lot of Sonic fan games.
Yeah.
So do you do any work here, or have you done any work with Sage in the past?
From my understanding, I've not done anything with Sage like in a long time. The last thing I can think of was when I worked on fan games like 10 plus years ago with Sonic before and Sonic after the sequel, which were, for those listening, like were fairly popular fan games in the community. That was kind of like my like time in that space, like to that level.
I have a distinct memory of downloading both those 2 Sonic fan games. It was after the sequel, and it wasn't pre-sequel, I'm thinking.
It was before the sequel.
Before the sequel.
Yeah.
They were good. I was like very impressed. It's so interesting, like a lot of and this is something I want to talk about after the break. I've heard a lot of your music and just not recognized it was you. Is that there's like an anonymous not being able to
anonymity.
It's like that opening scene in Nemo. There's a lot of like whatever of being a composer like this. Is that difficult, or do you enjoy like I can go throughout my life and not being accosted by autographs?
The way I got 1 minute left, so I'll do my best to answer.
Sorry.
That's
a big question.
Like so for example, like in moderation, right? So when I go to a convention or I go to like Game SoundCon recently, or other kind of like industry related kind of spaces, people will recognize me, and that's really nice because for like a weekend, people like I can feel like I'm popular or feel like I have some sort of notoriety, which is fun. Yeah. And then when I go home, no one fucking cares anymore. So it's nice to have that, like, it's nice to have, like, yeah, I'm cool for a moment, and now I'm a fucking nerd again.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's great. It's, let me get recognition, and also let me go to Target and not be, not have someone stop me while I'm trying to buy.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
All right, so we're gonna reset the meeting. I will forward you another email in just a second. We will be right back. So
Cool, sounds good. Yep. See ya.
Hey, he's back.
are
There we
back.
go.
No, well,
Yeah.
now we're back.
Sorry. That's my bad. My bad.
You're good. No problem.
So yeah,
Okay, yeah.
sorry,
I guess-
getting right back into it. So all this to say, is it like working with these big developers? And I guess this is like an offshoot of Riot, but I guess, and also like you work with Sega, you work with Kingdom Hearts, Square Enix. Is that like, for me that'd be like I don't know, dream come true. Like, did you grow up playing video games? Did you grow up playing like a lot of these Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy? What was the game when you were growing up?
The game for me when I was growing up?
Yeah.
Oh man, that one's too difficult. But in essence, yeah, I played.
Yeah.
That's like asking like who your favorite kid is,
Yeah,
Exactly.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, I grew up with video games since I could remember. Like I was like 4 or 5 years old when I got like a Game Boy and like the N64. Yeah, no, like as soon as I was as soon as I could kind of remember, like I've always wanted to work on video games, like even when I was like a very young kid. So that was always the goal. And Sega, like I had a Dreamcast, so I got to play a lot of Sega games, a lot of Sonic games. So for me, Sega was like a dream come true, truthfully, to work with them. Because that to me, like Sega was like one of my favorite companies growing up. Definitely.
Well, I guess on that subject, you said that you wanted to work with video games all your life.
Yeah.
Did you ever plan on being a composer, or were you more trying to look for like the computer science aspect of that?
So originally, I was going through the computer science angle. Like I went to like video game computer camp, back in like 2002. I was like 10 years old. My parents are like, "What the fuck are you talking about? That's not a thing." You know what I mean? Like they don't understand. But they try their best. But so I did computer camp, and it wasn't until I discovered a game called so I was always wanting to do games on that end, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I discovered a game called Flash Revolution, which is a Flash-based version of Dance Dance Revolution. And so because that game was built by the community, and at the time they allowed for open, artist submissions to like write your own music for that game. And that was kind of the switch, that flip where I'm like, oh, I could write music for video games.
Yeah.
So I was like 12, 13 years old, and that was kind of like the start of the beginning, where I was like, I want to write music for video games.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Yeah, that's really cool. And it shows like, just like, I assume like, was that on Newgrounds, or what was, do you know where you found Flash Revolution?
Well, Flash, I found because it was like their own website, so it wasn't really on Newgrounds, more or less. So like a friend of mine at the time like showed me the website, like this is where people are hanging out, and I was like, oh sweet, this is cool. And that's basically that's how I found it.
Did you ever do DDR? Were you those people in the arcades every Friday?
I was those people. Yes, I was those people. I still am those people.
Yeah.
I still go to round one every week. I go off. I love DDR.
Oh,
Yeah,
do you really go
sick.
to round one?
Yeah, I go to round one. There's one in Burbank. Yeah, I go
Nice.
like every week. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend that will build DDR pads. That's like it's DDR pads and hitboxes. And
No
it's-
shit. Oh, he builds them. That's sick.
Yeah, apparently it's not that hard. It's
Really?
you get some 2x4s. I don't know the science of it, but he's like, yeah, I'll build. You want a custom one?
That's
He built
so
me
cool.
I got into Guilty Gear Strive, and he was like,
Fuck
do you
yeah.
want a hitbox? Speaking of like music-based, character-based music, amazing. And he's like, do you want a hitbox? And I was like, sure. And then it was in in my mailbox the next week. It was super impressive.
That's so cool.
Damn, that's awesome.
I guess a follow-up subject from like character-specific music. So when you worked on probably what most people know from NSR, like you composed, I think Sayu, Tintin. I think you did the work for the EDM track on Eve. Did they kind of reach out to you first and give you that prompt kind of in Discord first, and then you worked on it, or was it more of you created and then they took and built off of that?
So the whole the reason why I was able to get in that project was because so earlier I was talking about the Sonic fan games, Sonic Before and Sonic After the sequel, and so we were basically this was like 10 years ago, and we kind of became like a little composer clique, just like a group of friends who all love Sonic music, and just kind of we just really bonded over that. And so over time we started doing more projects together as a group. And so No Straight Roads was at the time, and I think still is, like our biggest project as a group, because all the composers from those fan games that I worked on came in for No Straight Roads. So the audio director for the company, or for that project, I should say, Falco Young, is also a composer who I work with on many projects, Sonic fan games or otherwise. And so he got me on the project, and he would kind of assign us like different, like, oh, we need this for this thing and that for that thing, or James, like, do you want something yourself, right? So, it was kind of up to us more or less, with some guidance from the creative director. I'm not sure which other kind of composers you may have talked to on the show, but for at least in my end, because of what I do in, I guess, the specialty of what I do, more often than not, people come to me because they want me, and so they kind of let me go off. It's not.
That's so sick.
Yeah, I'm in a unique position as a music composer for that reason, because I think a lot of composers traditionally, it's like, oh, like, client needs orchestral music, go. And to be fair, that's still true for me in many cases.
Yeah.
But because I've built up a reputation musically, people will seek me out because they know that the ideas that I have are unique to me, and they want me for that reason. It's not just like, oh, we need an orchestral guy, like,
Yeah.
let's go on Craigslist and find one. It's like,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah, so it's a
Well,
little
that's
different
awesome.
in my experience. Yeah.
That's
so
great
sweet.
that you've gotten to a point where you don't have someone looking over your shoulder while you're doing it.
More
That's
or
so
less,
cool.
yeah, exactly.
Well, before we move on, I'm very curious. What is your favorite Sonic game? Since we're in this space, Listen, I've been a diehard Sonic Adventure 2 fan. I love that game until I die.
I'll be right back. 1 second.
Yeah, of course.
I can't wait to see what we got.
Oh,
What do you think? What do you think of this?
Oh man.
I'm saying a box copy of Sonic
I'm thinking.
CD.
No. I'm thinking, because I saw this on his Twitter. He was going.
Oh, dang it.
He had a little cow necklace.
Yeah. You don't know. It's a chow.
Chow.
Please.
Yeah.
I got
There it is, yeah.
Oh
I
my
saw
gosh.
that, dude.
The amount of hours, I've
Yeah.
spent trying to get a Chaos Chow, dude. Let me tell you, there's a website called Chow Island, and I have a distinct memory of I had my GameCube in the back, so I'd run, be like, okay, how do I do this, and this? Run to my living room, type all the information in, get half of it wrong, come back, and still never get it. I spent hours of my life.
I know,
trying to
dude.
raise
Yeah. So
this.
to answer your question, Sonic Adventure 2 is probably my favorite.
Well, it's the best. I think it has to
best
be the best.
Yeah.
Nothing's been best. And you know what?
I don't know.
Let me
man.
ask you this.
Sonic
Okay.
Colors was a hard contender. That's all I'm
No.
saying.
Let me ask you this. Hey, next time you work with Sega, tell them Chow Garden in the next one. I don't know what they're doing there. Have not put a Chow Garden in. And
There are. Listen, I agree with you. I think we all agree that would print some money. That would print a few fucking dollars if they
the
fucking make
fact
Chow
that they
Garden
haven't made
again.
a crappy mobile app that is like raise your Chow, I would give them all my money.
It's like
And they haven't-
Tamagotchi, but Sega.
Yeah, they haven't done it yet, and it's heartbreaking.
I
Heartbreaking.
know. I don't care. Make it a gacha game. I don't care. Just give it to me. I know. Yeah.
Well,
God.
going off, I'm very curious. What are like, and I mean, you've been doing it for so long, so maybe the answer is me. But what are like some people that you look up to in the industry that are that inspire you? Like I know I've seen, checking out your Spotify. I saw there's a lot of remixes of Undertale music. Is that just because it's popular right now, or is like I know talking to other composers, like one of them loved Toby Fox. Like he's the greatest mind of our generation. I was curious, like, is there anybody that you're like, this, they have it perfected, they got it?
In terms of people I respect, I mean, or like you're inspired by, like, truthfully, like it's mostly my composer friends. People like, composers like Funk Fiction, Falco Young, who I mentioned earlier. People like Kevin Penkin. Kevin Penkin is one of my best friends now. He's just a fantastic video game and anime composer. Like, there's a handful of people that I only like on one hand, or maybe two hands at this point, but like not many people can think of where I hear their music and I'm like, I can't do what you do, even if I tried my very best. That's when that's the kind of respect I have for like my composer friends that I list off, for example. There's a few others, of course, but yeah, for me, the people I'm most inspired by are usually the friends who I'm hanging out with and talking every day to.
Well, that's awesome.
like really wholesome, actually.
Well, I love that it's like, I don't have to look up to people. I'm there, and they're my friends now.
They're my
like,
friends.
That's so awesome. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
All right, so the list.
No.
The list. I guess let's lightning round through it. I guess.
Oh.
So I guess when you were starting out, because you said that you were working on like Flash.
Yes.
Was there a creation concept in the game, or did you have to have your own equipment and work on things with like Ableton or FL Studio?
Oh, for Flash, was just, if I understand correctly, so you're asking like what did I use to make music back then even?
Yeah.
Oh, back then, in just my laptop, right? So I'm like 12, 13 years old, with some crappy PC laptop, just trying to figure out how anything works.
Yeah.
Back then I was using, I think I started out on Fruity Loops 5 was the first I used. Moved on to Reason 3, and then eventually went to, I've been all over the place. I've used everything under the sun in terms of production, from Reaper, Pro Tools even, and now I'm on Ableton, and I stick with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And is it? I mean, I might be showing my ignorance here, but is it all digital, or are you using I see something in the background there. Is it like any practical instruments and stuff like that?
No, no. I love to keep my stuff very simple.
Okay.
If you could see from my perspective, I just have a standing desk, speakers, a MIDI keyboard. That's it. I don't have sure, analog is fun, and I definitely would like to if I have the space and or money for it.
Yeah.
For me, I like to keep things as simple as possible, just because I don't want to have to worry about okay, so I gotta go over here, now I gotta go over there. I don't want to fucking.
It's just right there.
Let me
I just
tune
wanna
this saxophone before I get in there. Oh, the reed's broken.
Yeah, that's my DJ setup. So that for me, that's a whole different thing.
Also, how's the standing desk? I'm thinking about getting one. Is it worth it? Is it what everybody says?
I love saying this personally, just for me, because I write a lot of electronic music, particularly kind of dance or high energy music.
Yeah.
It's good that I get to just stand up and then it's okay, am I really? I can kind of feel it.
Yeah.
When I write it. So for me, it's very beneficial. I feel like it's weird to be some people have really sorry, I'm not talking in the mic. Some people have really comfy ass chairs. They kind of I'm gonna write you can't write fucking
sitting like a mob boss while you're writing your music.
Yeah, it's a banger.
Stroking the cat on the
yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, every time you stand up, I see the dripped out chow. Where'd you get the dripped out chow? I got it.
Oh, it's official. You can go to King Ice. I'm not sponsored. This King Ice makes fucking they make a tons of Sonic and other kind of gaming kind of merch necklaces, and it's really fun. So I love it.
So sick.
Pull up to the party with the dripped out chow.
You did?
It's
Yeah, you went to a wedding recently, right?
Yeah, I was at a wedding. I was at my friend's wedding. Yeah, fucking it's great. I did. Yeah, it's great. Wherever I go, there's always a few people who are like, "Yo, is that a fucking dark cow?"
It's a tight knit community.
Oh, I love it.
There's only 2 games, 3 if you count the Sonic Advance games, and it's
that's
please.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's if you know, you know. Last month, I went to 2 months ago, I went to some nightclub or whatever, just whatever, hang with a friend, and the bouncer is all right, show me your ID. Can I go through? Cool, and he's like,
I got my ID right here.
Yeah, by the way, sick fucking necklace. Fuck yes. I was like,
Dude,
I love that.
yeah.
Listen, nothing will break that bouncer persona by my childhood memory of James too. Oh, I love that, James Jr.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. God, man.
I love that.
Yeah.
I need to get me one immediately.
Yeah. Well, and then the opposite thing has happened before. So back and forth, 4th of July, I went to a different party, and it was some bar or some shit, and these 2 girls, I was wearing a Zelda Triforce necklace.
Yeah.
And these girls who were drunk or who knows what, walk out with me with this very a little too confidently about it. They kept me they're like, is that some Harry Potter shit?
Bro!
You're like, yeah.
No.
Bro,
Oh my God.
That was psychic damage to my brain. I just I had nothing to say. Usually I have some bullshit I can say back. I was just kind of stunned. Are you serious right now?
How do you respond to that? You
Listen,
don't.
you gotta screw with them at that point.
I was just yeah, it's Harry Potter.
You don't know about the secret Harry Potter symbols? Yeah, there's 3 of them
yeah, it's
now.
Harry Potter. Yeah.
Oh, that's
God,
so
that's so nuts. Oh my god.
Before we gotta actually like I guess do some semblance of music entertainment here. But are you excited about Breath of the Wild 2?
Yeah.
Of course I am. Yeah,
Please.
absolutely.
Yes.
If it ever comes out, I'm super hyped. I've
Yeah.
been
You're hype. Since when, dude?
I literally just got done playing Ocarina of Time again.
Bro, what?
Going through all that Ocarina of
Oh
Time.
boy.
How is this the first time you're telling me about
love
this?
it.
Dude, do you know all the Zelda merch that I have at home? Are
Do you know
kidding
my
me?
shrine of Zelda?
You know the
Literally,
kind of
yes.
degenerate I am.
Yeah. But yeah, that's another game that like, you know, I would play Sonic. I had a GameCube. GameCube was like what I was born with. So I had the Sonic 2 Battle. I had the Legend of Zelda. It was like 4 games in one, and I only really played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. I think it's gonna be,
Fuck yeah.
if it ever comes out, I think it's gonna be
Dude.
so much fun.
It's
Yeah.
coming in May. I'm counting down the days.
Oh, really?
197. Yes.
Oh shit, he actually knows the number.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I wasn't ready for 197. He's making scratches
Yeah.
on his wall, just
Yeah.
one for every day.
Yeah. God. Back on.
Yeah.
A little bit on.
Yeah.
subject.
So
Exactly.
a new music studio, right?
Yeah, you started a studio. I gotta look at the name, but you just recently began like a company, Rare Drop.
Yes.
And that's like supposed to help creators understand like how to reach out in the industry and how to get involved in music and whatnot, right?
Kind of. So Rare Drop is, as I put it, I've been given the whole nonsense pitch the whole week at Game SoundCon. But so Rare Drop is essentially, it's like a 360 thing. We do audio vendorship, meaning that we work with clients to like deliver like large amounts of music and for one project. So we do like audio vendorship, we do music publishing, and then we do artist management. So in a sense, what we do is the ideal goal is that we will represent musicians for projects. Clients will come to me or my company or whatever and be like, hey, we're doing this thing. Like, what composers do you have? We're able to write for this kind of assignment. It's like, great, we got da 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 da. So we assign them for those projects.
Okay.
And then we'll write then I'll work with the company to write the damn music, and then afterwards we'll do music publishing. We'll release the music onto stores. You know, so the whole it's like kind of a whole pipeline where we can just handle all of the composition for any kind of video game or anime or whatever a company needs.
Yeah.
That's actually so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this something like, I mean, at the risk of sounding too clinical, is this something you're very passionate about, or is it another job?
Oh no, to me I love it. Actually, if anything, I love over time I've really gotten to enjoy like the behind the scenes like music business so to speak. I really enjoy that. For me, like even like musically speaking, I'm a problem solver.
Yeah.
So for me, like if I see like a problem or something that could be better, I just kind of go in and just kind of attack that. So for me, like I love the business side of things. I love being able to work with my friends directly, especially creatively. I love helping my friends make money. You know, I like making money too, but I love my friends. I love the fact that I can like be like, hey man, here's X thousand dollars for a project. Now you can like pay rent and eat like decently. Because that's a fucking sick feeling. I really enjoy that. So
That's
me,
nice that it's
So
not just you yourself are becoming famous
It's like
and whatnot, but you're helping
a communal
others.
type thing.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Was it difficult, and maybe you've already answered this, but was it difficult transitioning from an artist to now a more of the business, music
Like more
business side?
entrepreneurship.
No, I would argue, so I think for most composers, their ideal world is like, I want to think about nothing but just writing music 24/7.
Yep.
And for me, that's kind of not true. I'm kind of the opposite. I love the fact that I can spend like I'll do half my time will be music writing and half my time will be business person behind the scenes. I like that. I think I write better music under that mindset more or less.
That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's very unique in the artistic world. Where I feel like a lot of people are like, yeah, just let me write the music, please. I'm trying to do that. But that's
just
really
don't wanna
really
deal.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Oh, it's sweet, man.
Listen. I was writing an essay last night up till 2. I woke up. Yeah, dude, tell me more about that. That company?
shit.
What'd you guys?
So interesting.
Garbage? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that is awesome. So the newest project is gonna be this. I
Rare
cannot
Drop.
remember the revved up.
Rare Drop.
Rare Drop. Sorry, man. Apparently I am.
You are tired.
Apparently I'm
Yeah,
just
man.
yawning through your whole thing. I swear
Yeah.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we talked about it a little bit, but you got interrupted. So it's working with previous Riot employees, and it's gonna be more of an esports than an like a
For
traditional
you mean
game.
Omega Strikers?
No, Omega Strikers.
Sorry.
I just can't remember anything.
No, it's okay. I thought we were still talking about Omega Strikers. So you're working with Riot and that company just to make sort of like air hockey MOBA.
Yeah.
Well, I say it loosely. It's its own thing, of course. But yeah, so Omega Striker is like, it's a bunch of, foreign developers from Riot just opened up their own company a few years ago. So now they want to kind of do their own thing. They have their own vision, and they're just really cool. Like, they're really just hardworking and ambitious. I mean, I don't know if you know anyone from Riot, but they're all that kind of mentality anyway, with like zero work boundaries. Like, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They all work
Calling you at 2 a.m. on a Saturday.
You joke, but that's like I get a message. I was in Japan like this past month, and I got like a text message at like Sunday at like 2 a.m. like their time, like, hey man, can you like write a song in like 3 days? I'm like, I guess I will.
Sure.
Fucking will write a song in 3 days.
So wait,
you want, boss?
You mentioned are you traveling a lot for your work, or is it mostly remote?
Yeah, I would say I travel for work, because in addition to being a composer, I'm also DJing, right? So I'm performing live. Of course I go to like conferences and events to network or just, whatever. But, part of my artistry is also, performing that music live. And so I will travel around the country. I did a show in Japan last month, and yeah, I'll perform and DJ, I play at various conventions, like such as like, Anime Week in Atlanta, or, PAX, or, Anime Expo, other events. I can't think of the Crunchyroll Expo. So for me, so I'm usually performing for some after party or some rave event at a convention. I don't know if you guys go to conventions at all, but that's kind of part of what I do is like, just my job is to go out to these conventions and get people shit-faced to Mario music.
This is
the dream. The dream.
It is the dream. I fucking love it.
Was going to Japan the religious experience like it should be for every weeb? And was it like finally I'm here?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've gone there 8 times now. I've gone there almost every year, minus COVID. But
That's
I've
right, because it just reopened, right?
It just it just opened for tourism again. Japan is, as I tell everyone, like, I think a lot of people, like, it sounds like people overhype like Japan and Tokyo, and it's like, no, like as a tourist, it's like the best. Like, actually, like, it is worth the hype. Like I would say to both of you, if you have time, or I assume you're interested. Absolutely go.
Dude,
where am I going? So I'm going to Japan. What's the top 3 things I gotta see?
Wait, so you're actually going?
No.
This is hypothetical.
Listen. I get my scratch offs are finally paying off, and tomorrow I hit it big on the Powerball. I'm heading to Japan. What should I be doing?
Oh man, and then that's a tough question, honestly, because there's so much you can do. And to be honest with you, I've been in Japan 8 times, and I've never gone outside of Tokyo because Tokyo is so fucking huge. Yeah. Tokyo is like 6 New York cities combined. It's huge.
Woo!
Like, wow. I've been to so many different like kind of prefectures of Tokyo, and I've not even like scratched the surface on like at least a third of them. Like, there's so much to do.
Isn't that amazing? It's like there's so much packed in that little bit.
It's so much. It really feels like different like cities. Like, so you'll walk in one area, you'll feel like, okay, I feel like I'm in New York City, and then you go to another area and you'll feel like, oh, I'm kind of more like, it's not like literally LA, but like you'll feel it's a whole different vibe. It's not just like one fucking city kind of like.
So sick.
It's a really unique place, and so like you'll be in one downtown area and then bump into a residential neighborhood that's super quiet. Like, it's a really unique place.
That's so cool.
So yeah.
And is it someone was so I did have a friend that went, and they're talking about there's like not a lot of street parking, so you can walk most everywhere you want to go, which that sounds amazing.
Yeah, having a car is a luxury. In that literal sense of like most people don't have cars unless they absolutely need one. So you walk, you bike, you take the train. The train system is out of control, awesome. It's so good. So for me, like, I don't like to drive, to be honest. Yes. So for me, like, I'm in Japan, it's just a whole other world where it's like, oh man, I can just get anywhere I want because of a train, and it's honestly
that's so sick.
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, I really like that idea of like, I am the protagonist. I'm going on the train. I'm walking everywhere, having this little magical experience. Yeah. Well, that's so cool. Is there any other place? I mean, you visited Japan 8 times. I assume that your answer is gonna be like, yeah, Japan was the best place I visited. But is there any other place like you were surprised at how much you liked it while traveling around?
Surprised how much I liked. Actually, London. I was in London this past June. London, I really enjoyed as well. I was there to visit friends and hang out there.
Yeah.
London was awesome. I didn't think I would like as much as I would do, especially because people always say, "Oh, London has bad food," or no.
Yeah.
Like, sure, is there kind of like mid food? Yeah. But
you don't like your beans on toast? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna be a little mean here. London food is like if white people culturally appropriated white people.
I will say, like,
that is the best way I've ever heard that.
The idea of yes, I mean, I'm gonna just take beans on toast because that's the most stereotypical. But like, that feels like you deconstructed something that was already just like we're eating nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to know the right spots to find the good food. But in general, London, like, as a city, it's actually fucking sick. I really like London.
Yeah.
Well, that's so awesome. Is there any? Well, just we have to get some.
I'll be completely
siblings.
on. Nope. Screw the list.
Oh,
Screw the
okay.
list.
I didn't want to.
Nope.
As much as I would love to chit chat,
Yeah.
Our teacher's like, all right, we got to get some. But I think
I guess
already covered most of the.
two last personal things. Number one, James, where can we play and find Omega Strikers? I have no ideas. I have no money to spend. How might I do that?
Omega Striker free.
Wow,
free on
really?
Steam. You can play
No
right
way.
now.
You're saying I don't have to pay money to have a fun time and listen to great tunes?
In
No
fact,
way.
you don't, my friend. You can also listen to Omega Music on Spotify. Yeah.
Wow,
go there and
Spoofy!
Go to Spotify. It's right there.
Yeah. All right. Second thing that is totally just hypothetical. We do have a convention coming up in February. I know some people. Would you be down to maybe visit down here in Alabama?
I would be down. When is it?
I think it's February 11th to 13th. I will get in touch with people, but if you're interested, I'll get them to reach out if you want.
When, like, what's the name of the convention?
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con. Okay. Yeah. If you.
Yeah, it's spelled with a
K.
K.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to look into it, like, I can definitely reach out to some people and try to get them to get you over.
Please, I would love to party. It sounds like a hell of fun. So if you know the people and you can have them shoot me an email.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet.
Let's talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you been to Alabama yet? After all your Japan and world travels.
Right there below Japan, dude.
Yeah, it was like,
okay.
I was gonna go to Alabama, but London was a little cheaper that week.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
Exactly.
the food will blow your mind, though. That is the one thing.
That
The
you're
food's gonna
fine.
be crazy.
you want
That's fine. No, I
barbecue?
believe it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right.
Super
Kind
excited.
of getting back on track, though.
Yeah.
What is one song that you're proud has its traction versus what is one that you wish had more traction?
Oh. So, say one more time. So, a song that.
So a
say
song
one
that
more
you're
time.
proud has like high views, high interaction versus what is a song that you wish had like a higher replay, higher view count, or rather something that you want to go back and work on?
Ooh. So there's one song from Osu that I worked on for Osu called Reaction. That one has like a 7 million plays and people like that song. I'm very happy with that song. I'm glad I got a lot of plays. That one I feel good about. A song that I wish more people would.
Who's your baby boy that didn't get enough attention? Who do people need to come and see?
That's a tough one because I feel like there's a lot of them, so I'm having a bit. I wish that certain Spark the Electric Jester music got a bit more popular. There's some stuff in there I wish more people took note of because a lot of the music, not just mine, but I think as a project from the soundtrack perspective, there's a lot of great music in the Spark the Electric Jester series that I wish more people could take note of.
Yeah.
Is Spark the Electric Jester, is that something where they reached out to you and just gave you a little more?
Yeah, so the developer of the Sonic fan games, Sonic before and after the sequel, it's that developer, just one guy.
Sweet.
And so he was like, oh, I'm gonna make my own Sonic now.
Yeah.
And so they got the team at the time to go do that music for that game.
Yeah. There's been a lot of, what if I try to make my own? What if I made my own? And that's really cool. It's really cool that you've gotten in there. Like I guess you started out and you have this community of like, we'll let you do whatever you want on this soundtrack and trust you.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's funny. Side note that like my final so I went to Berklee College of Music, and at the end of your whole degree you do a whole thesis of here make an EP or some shit of music.
Yeah.
My EP was Sonic fan game music.
Nice.
My final project for me to get a degree in college was Sonic fan game music. I need to, yeah.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
God.
What I'm just going on that. Were your professors like, did they enjoy that, or was it a little bit like, high art versus low art or whatever?
I think at the time, and from what I've been told too, it's a little bit that way. Yeah, for most people at the time in game audio, everyone was like, "Oh, Hans Zimmer, like AAA music, that kind of that kind of thing." And I was the one goofball, along with me and Falco Young, who also went to Berkeley, who were like, "No, Sonic music's great."
Yeah.
So we really stuck out like a sore thumb. The professors who got it really liked us, and some people didn't get it at all. One professor, Jeff Williams, he was the composer for an anime-inspired show called Ruby.
Okay.
And
Oh my God, you met Jeff Williams? What?
He was my teacher. I
Dude, that's so sick.
Yeah, he was my professor in college. He was like my mixing engineer teacher, and so like right when I graduated, he was like, "Dude, I know what you can do. I know like you're not like those other those other composers. Come work for me for a minute." So
yeah, that's right. You worked on the the Magical Girl remixes for Ruby. This will be the day.
Yeah, I did remixes, and I wrote music for one episode in season 1.
Nice.
Really? That's so sick.
Is it? Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Is it difficult, like, when you're taking an Uber or whatever? Do you say, "Hey, I'm a video game composer," or are you like, "Well, I DJ"?
Transition, dude.
I love just going back
Before
with
we
like.
get going, guys. Yeah, before we get going, listen, I'm a game composer. I gotta
Well,
tell you
no.
something.
Do
you know who I am?
When explaining, like, you said like professors would sometimes turn up your nose, would not get it. You're being compared to Danny Elfman and Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Is it something like you have to be like, I know a lot of YouTubers are like, people don't get it yet, or most people are pretty receptive to it?
These days, well, do you mean like back then or now?
I'm sure now is a little bit more, but was it?
Yes.
It was difficult back then in the early days.
Yeah, I would say difficult to not maybe the most accurate word, but in a sense, like, yeah, like it was definitely like, I definitely felt like an outlier compared to the sea of students who want to do other things, like going to AAA studios and doing whatever they want to do there. So for me, I really stuck out for better or worse. And I do think for better and worse, because the whole reason why I got the Ruby gig was because I stuck out, and so sure, some teachers didn't help me because I, wasn't doing what I think they thought at the time was the best thing, like going down that route of like AAA music. And that's fine too, because I want to do what I want to do, and that's kind of why I'm doing it,
Yeah. And was Ruby like a jumping off point from going into like the more stuff?
I think so. I think that gave me a lot of validation, especially because I graduated in like May, and then like Ruby was like in June, like the same, like so it was a very good, nice validating moment of like, okay, cool, like I'm doing cool industry shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, yeah. Even though I was working on other projects, other games prior to that, but that was like a nice one to have like in the belt.
Well, that's super impressive.
I guess like on the note of like up and coming, what advice could you give to like upcoming like composers, people that want to get into music? Like, what is your magnum opus that you wish you could have told?
I think for everyone, like, especially in this kind of its state of our industry, being a specialist is how you get work. Actually, sure. Can you like be a generalist and kind of shotgun your way around, like just cold network, here and there? Of course you can. I'm not that way, and I don't think it's a very effective way, truthfully.
Yeah.
My whole belief is that people will, especially if you're trying to get work and get your space, get kind of established, people will remember you better if you're a specialist in one thing or one type of thing. So I kind of learned that in college, and I made that clear, like, oh, I stick out. Even if people don't get me, they remember me.
Yeah.
And that was more important than anything else. And I kind of took that, especially after graduating, and even now, I tell people, I'm an electronic music video game composer, and people are like, oh, and then they kind of like, they kind of feel like, okay, this person's something different. And that to me is how I think a lot of people can get that first real strong like door opening into the industry. Because case in point, like Ruby was the reason of that. Like it was like James is different. I know what James does.
That's really
Yeah.
God, I'm sorry. It still just blows my mind. Like you worked with Jeff Williams, and I know that's like that shouldn't be surprising, but I didn't know that he was a professor at Berkeley. That's really
he was a professor. He was a professor at Berkeley College of Music for the longest time. And then he got to do work on Red vs. Blue, which was, so he did that, and then got kind of transitioned into Ruby. But at the time, he was still a Berkeley professor working on Red vs. Blue, when we were, in class together.
I guess if there was like a dream project that you could work on, like obviously you've done work with like Sega and Square Enix, you've done stuff for like Tower of God, like you've hit a bunch of high points.
Yeah.
Is there any level higher? Like what is your peak? What is your apex?
Apex. I think for me, as dumb as it sounds, I really want to get on DDR. That to me
Yeah.
kind of like, all right, that's a wrap. I did it. Like,
Yeah.
Sure. Could I do Sonic? Sure, but
Yeah.
I have, for me, I'm fine if I never work on Sonic. I would love to.
Yeah.
I'll say yes. But for me, if I don't work on Sonic, that's okay because I've learned over time. I like when you know the sausage is made.
Yeah.
It just tastes a little different.
Yep.
Just moving forward. And for me, I'm okay with just kind of staying a fan of Sonic. And just keeping it in that kind of pure thing for me.
Mhm.
But if there's one game I want to be my magnus opus, just from a nostalgia, if not like a childhood come true moment,
Yeah.
it's DDR.
That's
Yeah.
I was about to say that is the
Yeah.
circle closing. It's
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
how it started. That's how it,
How it ends. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's so cool. Yeah, it's people will be dancing to your music in all the arcades.
Dude,
across-
imagine playing your own song at an arcade game. Like
I have.
Yeah.
Well, so the game I worked on was Unedited.
Yeah.
Unedited is at round 1, and so so a lot of people have been able to play my music in the arcade.
that's actually sick.
So that is where you're
Yeah.
like leaning against the machine. You're like, hey, you know,
Hey,
that's
yeah.
that.
See this
Yeah,
right
this
here?
guy.
Yeah, that's a weird.
That's
That's
it.
James Landino. That's
Yeah.
a neat name.
I wonder what that guy's doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What a cool dude. I do think we're about to run out of time though. I guess. Do you have any other questions?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm still shocked over the dripped out chow. That's been in the back of my mind ever since I saw it. Now I gotta I'm
gotta
pinching
get it.
pennies. I'm pinching pennies to get me a dripped out chow. I'm trying to think. I was gonna ask you what was the apex, or not? What was the apex? What's the dream job? I feel like you've already answered it before.
Yeah,
I mean,
DDR.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is there you've already plugged anything else? Is there any personal projects besides what you're doing there that
Is there
you want to
anything-
get a little bit more?
That is what I was hoping to ask. Is there anything that you can tell us about? If not, that's
That's
cool.
the problem. I can't. That's the life of composer, man.
Yeah.
Anything upcoming? No, I
No.
can't tell you.
Mind your business.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was
How it
kind. All right.
goes.
Well, that's kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
before we leave, Don the Clown knows.
All right, so let's explain this. I lost a bet last week. There's a battle of the bands coming in, and we were both I was sure I could have placed money on it that this band was gonna win, and it did.
He was wrong.
Yeah. So the bet was you have to wear a clown nose for the next stream, and I said, what? How would I start this interview if just all of a sudden it'd be like, hey, Sue, love your work, super excited to really
Just
dive in deep.
Just
And-
fucking no sell.
Yeah, I was about to say,
just straight up
I,
just
I had
yeah.
a real moment. I was like, how polite do you have to be to just never mention it at all and be like, oh, this just stream gimmick, I guess, or whatever.
It's just
But
yeah, it's just how he is.
So for the remaining of the stream, I'll just be,
Which
talking
probably
like
is not
this.
going to be long.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we were down to less than a minute. It was great to have you. Go follow James Landino on his socials. I think it's just at James Landino. I think Twitter. Do you have a TikTok?
Fuck no.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Excellent.
hey,
Twitter,
hey.
Instagram, places
Yeah.
like that. Go follow him. And thank you
Awesome.
so
Yeah.
much for coming, man. This
Yeah,
is
thank
great.
you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All right, see ya.
Absolutely.
Yeah, take care. Bye bye.
You too. What a cool dude.
Honk, honk.
What a cool dude.
Yeah.
I love him.
It was really nice to talk to someone that was in. Sorry, I gotta keep the nose on.
You know, it's okay. No one can see it right now.
No,
I'm trying to figure
Then
out.
I have the nose
You
on.
do not.
And no
Uh,
one can prove otherwise.
Aha, there we are.
boo.
Put it on.
That's
It feels. Why is it a square? It's,
It's-
always a rectangle.
It's so huge.
Weird. That's fine.
Anyways, it was really nice to talk to someone
It
like
really
actually in the
was.
industry.
Like,
Uh,
I figured just based on, because I don't know the guy obviously, but I figured he was probably gonna be really chill and open to interviews and stuff. So I'm really happy that he actually was down to earth and level-headed. That was really neat.
and anybody that loves Sonic Adventure 2 is okay in my
Yeah.
book.
I know exactly where you're going after this stream.
I love that. I mean, first of all, the gall to wear it to a wedding. I love that.
Yeah.
That is, he instantly jumped up, 100 places of my favorite people. it got my heart right there. So yeah, next stream I'll be coming in with a dripped out, diamond encrusted.
I better see it.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it's really funny. So I don't know if we discussed this on stream or before stream, but he was like, "Oh, you know most of the Landino stuff. Like you seem more invested in him. Like I'll let you kind of run the questions." I think you had the better experience of wanting to like learn it more, and it was like I'm okay with that. I was really happy to see you be like interested and involved. That was so sweet.
Well,
man.
yeah. I mean, just like he's a chill person. Like
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about his work. Like you did a little more research on that. And so
But as a guy, like
I thought he was a great guy.
he's great. Yeah. Like I would totally go grab a drink with him at
Yeah.
some point in the future. You can legally do that. I can't. But like
I would go grab a drink of non-alcoholic substances.
yeah, I'll go grab a milk. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Could you imagine you're like, hey, party, and it's like, oh yeah, this is just a yoo-hoo. And just fully like, yeah, look.
Bringing a U2 to a bar is like the best thing
Yeah, I'm nursing
you can
this.
ever do.
I'm nursing this. It's, I'm just gonna shake and chill tonight.
That's so sick.
Dude, I hate yoo-hoos. Can I tell it?
Yeah,
They're-
yeah. We have a little bit of time.
they're
We can keep going for as long as you want.
the most disgusting things I've ever tasted in my
It's
entire
like
life.
watered down chocolate.
It's not
disgusting.
even like. I'm trying to find a good place on this. Without
Just there is
ripping
fine.
at it too.
Just there's fine.
It's like, it's just watered down chocolate milk. Like I don't want that in any stretch of the imagination. I was craving one, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to a gas station and get me one.
Yeah.
And then because you gotta get a yoo-hoo at a gas station. But man, it just didn't slap.
Yeah,
it didn't
no,
slap.
I agree.
It used to. And I'm so mad. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Midnight Steel won. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How'd you rig the thing? How many people did you pay to vote for Midnight Steel?
Literally 0. I just have
1,000.
Dude, if there is one thing, everybody in chat, I know 3 people in the chat right now. Every single one of them can tell you, never make a bet with me. I'll always win.
Well,
I'll always win.
listen. Here's the thing. What if I always win every bet that I've done?
Well, this is the first for you, huh?
But before the season ends, we're doing another one because
Okay. You know what?
You're wearing this freaking clown
You know
nose.
what? We got until like what, December 9th? And then we have like a whole week off. We have
Yeah.
like maybe 3 or 4 more streams together.
And boy oh boy, you're gonna be wearing clown nose for one of them. I don't know. I'll have to find something on the next stream, and I don't know how I'm gonna rig it. But boy, am I gonna rig it so that you are wearing a clown nose.
Alright.
I don't care what I have to lie, cheat, and steal. You're wearing this clown nose.
I'll counter rig it.
We'll see who gets it first.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
I think that's probably just about all we got.
Yeah, I think.
So,
What, you think I can flip this off?
if you can flip it off and then catch it in your mouth.
In my mouth?
In your mouth.
I don't think I can catch it in my mouth. I can catch it in my hand. I don't think I can catch it in my mouth. No way I catch this in my mouth. Oh,
Nope.
That went fully down. But wait, maybe this time. I gotta get more. Well, it's gone. It's fully just gone, and I'm not crawling underneath
Gone
it. I'm
with the
gonna
wind.
unplug it.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah.
I think for now we should probably.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go. I got
So-
class. Too much.
So again, just thank everybody for coming out. This has been great. Thank you, James. Like you were honestly, if you're watching now, you were one of the chillest people ever. Like thank you so much for coming out and doing this. I will try to get in contact with you with that con, by the way.
I'll say
And like
100% the best guests we've had.
oh, 100%, absolutely the magnum peak opus apex top tiggly dog dibbity bob. Yep, he's the
What?
guy.
No. I want you to repeat that one more time. Do you think you can get that?
There is no way
exact?
that I could get that exact.
The top dog, apex top diddly dog?
No, I'll replay it back in editing.
No. I want to now from memory, because you can go back in editing. What did you just say? What do you think you got right there? And then I want you to compare it to what you said previously.
So what I was trying to say was he was our magnum opus, he was our apex, he was our top dog, he was the best, he was the number 1. I think what actually happened was top dog
Yeah, just turned into Scatman John there at the end. I'm a Scatman.
All right, but like
And with that,
thank you everybody again. Thank you, James. Go follow him on socials at James Landino everywhere. Go follow us on like University of Alabama at UATwitch, like stuff like that. And I think that's all. So thank you everybody again. We will see you next week, exactly the same time with who knows what.
same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah.
Do you? Oh wait, is there? Do you want me to transition into the?
Yeah. Hey
Into
James.
the
Hey
end.
James.
Yeah.
What's your social security number?
It's